Have you ever looked at a giant company and wondered, how can they possibly move as fast as a startup? Well, you're about to find out. Today, we're diving into the Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe. Think of it as the operating system that powers some of the biggest and most agile companies on the planet.
Right? It's a story we all know. You've got this small, scrappy team that can innovate, pivot, and change direction on a dime. But as that same company gets bigger, that incredible speed just fizzles out. It gets bogs down in complexity. And that's the exact problem we're going to tackle.
You see, agile methods were originally born for small teams, often working in the same room. But what happens when your idea is so big, it needs hundreds or even thousands of people to make it a reality? That's when you hit a wall. You run headfirst into the scaling problem. And the symptoms of this problem are everywhere. It's things like coordinating hundreds of people, trying to sync up releases, and just making sure the work people are doing today actually matches the company's big picture strategy. Think about it like this. A small jazz trio, they can improvise and create amazing music on the fly. But a full symphony orchestra, you need a conductor, you need a shared score, otherwise all you get is noise. And that's the struggle. Now, to solve this, SAFe doesn't just make up a bunch of new rules. Instead, it stands on the shoulders of two absolute giants: lean thinking and the agile mindset. These two philosophies are the bedrock, the foundational pillars holding the whole thing up. So how do these two work together? Well, lean is all about being ruthlessly efficient, getting the most value to the customer with the least amount of waste. It's about building things right. On the other hand, agile is all about being adaptive and responsive. It's about building the right thing. You see the difference? One gives you speed, the other gives you direction, and you absolutely need both. This quote just nails it. It's not about choosing one or the other. It's the combination that creates this powerhouse system that is always learning, always improving, and most importantly, always delivering. Okay, so if lean and agile are the core beliefs, you can think of SAFe as the operating system that actually runs them across the entire company. It provides the structure, the roles, and the rhythm to get everyone in sync. What that really means is that SAFe is basically a giant, publicly available playbook. It's packed with proven, integrated practices that have helped thousands of companies get this right. It's not a rigid instruction manual. It's more like a blueprint you can adapt to build a faster, smarter organization. And listen, this isn't just some abstract theory. A leader at Capital One said it perfectly. Their products were just too big for one team. They needed a foundation, something to coordinate all those different teams working on the same thing. When your ambition outgrows a single team, you need an orchestrator. So what's actually inside this operating system? Well, SAFe is built around 5 core disciplines. Let's take a quick tour of the blueprint. This is how it all connects. It starts with leadership and culture, because let's be real, if the leaders aren't on board, nothing's going to change. Then you have team and technical agility. That's your engine room, where the work gets done. Product development flow is like the transmission, making sure value moves smoothly from idea to customer. For the biggest projects, large solution integration is the chassis holding it all together. And finally, lean portfolio management is the steering wheel, making sure the entire organization is funded and pointed in the right strategic direction. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but what's the actual, real-world payoff? Why are so many of the world's top companies going through this massive transformation? Well, the results, they really do speak for themselves. Even the big industry analysts like Gartner have seen it. They've confirmed that SAFe delivers real, measurable value, especially when things get complicated. So let's actually look at some of those numbers. First up, companies are seeing a 30 to 75% faster time to market. I mean, think about that. That's a huge competitive edge right there. And that speed comes with a 20 to 50% jump in productivity, because teams are finally focused on what truly matters and cutting out the waste. It turns out people are happier too. This way of working leads to a 10 to 50% bump in employee engagement. People like knowing their work has an impact. And here's the kicker. You don't trade speed for quality. In fact, it's the opposite. Organizations see a massive 25 to 75% increase in quality because it's baked into the process from the very beginning. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? The old way of working is long, slow, and totally unpredictable. With SAFe, you get faster, more reliable delivery of value. The difference is just night and day. So the big question is, how do you get there? It's so important to remember, but adopting SAFe is not like flipping a switch. It's a journey,
a real transformation that takes commitment and a solid plan.
And there is a proven path to follow. It all starts with training your leaders, the people who will guide the change. Then you launch your first Agile release train, which is just a fancy term for a team of Agile teams, to show that this model can work for you. After that, you expand it, connect it to your business strategy, and then you never stop improving. And you wouldn't be going on this journey alone. This isn't some fringe idea. We're talking about a framework used by the majority of the Fortune 100, over 20,000 organizations and millions of trained professionals. This is a well-trodden path to scaling agility. But at the end of the day, SAFE is just the map. The real journey requires a whole new mindset. The biggest obstacle isn't learning a new process, it's unlearning old habits. It's about building a culture that is hungry to question, to experiment, and to adapt relentlessly. So the question isn't just, is this the right framework? It's, are you ready for the journey?